We're live. Hey, welcome everybody. I didn't think we were going to be able to do this today. We were all kind of weird messages from YouTube, but here we are live. We're going to be talking about autoimmunity today, and it's something I think that needs explained. I got to make sure you understand what this is. We're going to look at just prevalences because this report that I'm going to quote to you says it's something that keeps getting worse and worse and worse. And I'm going to give you my opinion about why it keeps going that way. Why I think this is important today, why we're doing this on YouTube so that we can save it, is that those that have an autoimmune issue, those that have rheumatoid arthritis, those that have Raynaud's, those that have type 1 diabetes, these are situations where your own God-given immune system have turned against you. And they put you at a higher risk of a lot of different things. Now, in the same venue, those who have an autoimmune problem are arbitrarily said to be 30, 40, 50% higher risk factor for the coronavirus. So this is a message whose time has come because it used to be just a very small percentage of the population, like next to nothing. But now it's starting to come to the point where it's going to be affecting about 1 out of every 4 of us. You may not know of anybody that has an autoimmune issue. You ever heard the term Raynaud's? Those kind of issues, lupus, those kind of issues. You see the commercials for Enbrel, and we'll even put into these eczema and psoriasis cases, show more of yourself. You see the commercials on TV, these massive biologicals that completely annihilate your immune system so that your body doesn't have any means of attacking yourself. And for the short term, you end up having a big advantage there. So let's put this story out. It's very quick. It's brief. A study published in Journal of Arthritis and Rheumatology. This is a journal that goes out to rheumatologists or arthritis specialists. This provides evidence that the prevalence of autoimmunity, when the immune system goes awry and it begins to attack the body itself, has increased in the United States in recent years. For the study, researchers looked at anti-nuclear antibodies. Now, those of you that have an autoimmune issue, you know that when you go to your doctor, say every 3 months, every 6 months, they do some blood work and they measure your ANA. It's a weird sounding thing. Anti-nuclear antibodies. It's the most common marker of autoimmunity. It tells the doctor how well you're doing. They did this ANA test on 14,000 participants in the United States National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey. It's called NHANES. It's done every 5 years. They did this approximately 1/3 from each of 3 time periods: 1988 to 1991, 1999 to 2004, 2011, 2012. The prevalence of ANA elevation was 11% in 88 to 91, about 1 in 10. So we jump ahead 10 years, 99 to 2004, it's up to 15.9%, 16%. 2011, 2012, 15.9%. 2019, 21.9. That equivalates out to 69.3 million people. Now, if we put this into context to say, if those numbers are true, and obviously they do the research, that says that almost 70 million people in the United States were at a relatively increased risk of coronavirus, whether they be on a biological or not, whether they be on prednisone or not, whether they be on any other medication or not. Now, the ironic part of this whole thing is one of the most common ways of treating people in this group with hydroxychloroquine, Plaquenil. It's been used for decades to stabilize this kind of a problem. Isn't it ironic that those in this group that went into this coronavirus stuff from January on over the last 4 months, those that were on Plaquenil, hydroxychloroquine, as a line of defense toward their arthritis, rheumatism, type 1 diabetes, whatever. And I don't have statistics to back this up, but they say that virtually none, or such a very small percentage, developed the coronavirus. The reasons for the increasing prevalence of ANA increases, which were most pronounced in adolescents. The biggest increases in the United States have been in adolescents, male adolescents, 10, 11, 12, 13-year-olds. Non-Hispanic whites. You know, you would think the way the press brings this up, oh my God, the poor inner city blacks, Hispanics. No. This is a problem that goes with the white population. And they're saying this remains unclear why. Said senior author Frederick Miller from the National Institutes of Environmental Health Sciences. Who else do you know that's been part of the National Institute of Environmental Health Sciences? Think about it. Not directly in that organization, but in that parent organization, Dr. Anthony Fauci, who I've been really blasting over the last couple months. I think he over-exaggerates. I think he's a pessimist. I think he gives you false information. They're bringing him on as part of the president's team, and I think he's being bought off, quite honestly. And I know if this gets out on YouTube, they'll block this video. He goes on to say, they are concerning, however, as they may herald an increase in autoimmune disorders and emphasize the need for additional studies to determine the driving forces underlying these findings and enable the development of possible preventative measures. Hydroxychloroquine. The countries that used hydroxychloroquine during the midst of this corona outbreak, Italy, Germany, France, Spain, all of Denmark, and the Scandinavian countries, Germany, all pretty much through this thing already, while we're still struggling here. Yet Dr. Anthony Fauci comes out and says, oh, no, it's dangerous. And they've quoted so many different pieces. And trust me, as a pharmacist for over going on 40 years, and the number of times I dispensed hydroxychloroquine safely, outside of some rare occasions for somebody that was on a higher than normal dose and got some retinal issues, the back of your eye. But those that are on hydroxychloroquine or those that have an autoimmune issue are often, and most times, told, get to your eye doctor on a regular basis, like every 6 months, to make sure you don't run into any complications. And outside of that, it's been safe enough to be used with pregnant women. Yet Dr. Anthony Fauci starts bringing up remdesivir, something that's relatively inexpensive, but try to find out online somewhere what the price is of remdesivir. It's an injection. You can't go to the store and buy it. Can't have your doctor write a script for it. It's being used on hospitalized patients. That took them down from a 15-day time frame to an 11-day time frame of being ill. Those extra 4 days, probably a big deal. But if you used it in combination with hydroxychloroquine, would that be better? And if we threw in azithromycin on top of that, would we get the people in and out and save lives? Dr. Anthony Fauci doesn't believe so. And I'm not one to make false accusations to somebody to say, do you have some financial ramifications with, I think it's Genova Pharmaceuticals? But this morning I was watching Fox Across America, and they interviewed Representative Andy Biggs from Arizona. And I'm just going to read to you what he said this morning. He had some harsh words from members of the president's coronavirus task force, especially Dr. Anthony Fauci and Dr. Deborah Birx. She's the one with the scarves around her neck all the time. Give them the gold watch and say thank you, exit stage left. It's time for them to go out and be quarantined without a government paycheck and see how they like it. We'll see how they like it, because that's what you got. You've got two classes of people in America today. You've got the people who are bureaucrats. Their policies have produced a division in this country. They've produced an economic depression in this country. They basically created societal problems, everything from more suicides, more suicidal hotlines, domestic violence, child abuse, increased use of drugs and alcohol. They basically sanctioned elimination, and it's not full elimination, at least curtailing of our rights. And basically, they said we would rather commit economic suicide than have freedom and let people govern themselves and take the risk of freedom. And then we could have put in reasonable policies to protect the most vulnerable. We know who the most vulnerable were at the get-go. We knew it was the elderly. We knew that it was people with these types of morbidities and health problems like autoimmune issues. But instead they said, let's quarantine the healthy as well. Well, have this quasi-martial law feeling going on. You know, you start to wonder, how true was that? So, let me say this. Protect yourself. Still a firm believer in buffered vitamin C. We just got our replacement orders back in. An immune builder. I like a prep called Immunothera. N-acetylcysteine to protect your lungs. And vitamin D. It's the basic four-pronged approach that I have used since the beginning of these things. And those that have done it have been safe. I don't have the money to put up a study on this, but I'm telling you that the effects have been dramatic. If you want more information, call our staff here, 678-228-8900. And for those of you that saw on Facebook that we are now offering the blood test for IgG and IgMs, we are offering that to our patient base. Okay, please, if you're a patient and you're here in Atlanta where it's very easy for us to get you to a phlebotomist, we can do that if we've seen you in the last couple months. If not, we'd have to set up a time, because I can just arbitrarily order blood tests for anybody. So that's what that's all about. If you want for more information, call us here at the office, 678-228-8900. And don't forget, for the next week to 10 days, we're going to be running our Ultra Probiotic and our Joint Support Prep, our two top-selling preps, at 25% off. It's our intention to try to help you to stock up on the preps that are, quite honestly, our biggest sellers, so that we can get that into your hands and save you some money. Just mention you heard it here on our YouTube live video, or you saw it on our Facebook when you do call in your orders, and we will take care of that. Our website is thenutritionshop.net, THE, thenutritionshop.net. Or again, call us here directly at the office, 678-228-8900. Tomorrow on the show, we're going to talk about dry eye syndrome. Dry eye syndrome. A new piece comes out, understanding how to get more lipids into your tears. This is more common than you think, especially with those with autoimmune issues. Those that have Raynaud's, it's a very common problem. So if you know somebody that's suffering from dry eye syndrome, it might be you. Make sure you tune in tomorrow at noon. We'll delve into that issue as always. All right, folks, have a great, healthy day. God bless you, and I'll see you back here tomorrow. Take care.